How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Manatee Gaming. If you probably noticed in the last couple of videos, I had a clipping issue where my body parts and hat were falling off and on. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to go ahead and not use the cam for the next few videos here. Actually, probably next several videos because I'm not sure how long it'll take to get here. But I am ordering a new setup for a green screen, so that way that I will be able to make much better quality videos involving the camera, because that was obviously an issue. Also, as far as my interfaces go, I know they're all over the place again. That's because I keep on using my laptop when I'm out and the screen is much smaller, so that way I have to keep moving this stuff around. Anyway, I'm going to be updating that as well. I wanted to go ahead and make this video because this is a huge discussion right now, and people constantly ask me questions about this, and also they are constantly, wanting to know why my answer is what it is on this subject. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Today we're going to be talking about RuneScape bonds. So, if anyone noticed, the RuneScape bonds are kind of expensive right now. Big shocker. If you checked them out in the Grand Exchange, they're kind of expensive. They've been selling for anywhere from 19 million to 21 million for the last, several days, a few weeks. So this was nothing shocking to me at all, and a lot of people who do investing involving bonds, it really wasn't that shocking to them either, because the Premier Club does pretty much always make them rise. So that is the reason why they are up so high, is because of the Premier Club. So if you're wondering why they're so high, there's your answer. Now, the next part of it is a lot of people are like, oh man, should I be buying them now? Because are they going to go up even more with Christmas? With Premier Club, are going to just keep getting more expensive? Should I be buying them? Is right now a good price? So I have the answer for that as well. So if you'd like to save yourself several million gold on Premier Club, or just using bonds in general, then I am here to save the day. So let's go ahead and take a look at this next screen over here. This right here is the wiki. So this is the wiki for a bond, and I'll be able to explain everything, showing you guys the proof behind my reasons for what I'm about to tell you. So the RuneScape bond, what happens to the bond, guys, is during the month of like November-ish, like September, like October, November, blah, 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 it starts to rise. As you can see right here in 2015, October, November, December, bonds are going up, and then they just drop off. If you notice right here, they drop off. Boom, just a huge crash, basically. And then into January, how they're like way lower. If you notice up here on this graph right here, they were up like 14 million, which at the time was a lot for a bond, and they drop all the way down to like 11. So that right there shows you guys, that drop right there. Now, if we look at over here, let's go into the next year, into 2016. We've got the October rise here, October rise into November rise into December, skyrocketing up there. Oh, actually, no, sorry, that's still November. And then just the drop, super hard drop towards the end of to the end of December. Wow, I can't read. If you look at right here, though, bonds hit like pretty much, 17.3 million at the top of that peak. At the bottom of it, though, bonds were all the way down to like 14. So if you look up here, it looks an awful lot like we've got the exact same thing happening. We've got that huge peak up in November, and then December starts to trickle down. And then if you notice, let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit more. It's kind of hard to read this too, because this isn't like as much, it's not jagged as much, because the price of bond doesn't change quite as rapidly. But if you see right here up in November, we've got 21 million. It just dropped down to like 18.5, a little up, a little up, a little down again. It's getting ready for that big dip again. So essentially, guys, if you look at this, it's a constant up, down, and the down happens at the end of December. Now, why is that? Why does the downward, why does that drop happen for December? So the reason why it happens for December is because that is when all of the people, mostly children, I'll be honest, get their Christmas money. So when they get their Christmas money, or maybe their parents buy them gift cards and stuff like that, where do you think that money goes? Well, that money goes into RuneScape a lot of times, because that's what they want to buy. They want to buy the bonds for their membership. They want to buy bonds so they can, have money in the game and everything. And then think about the price of bonds right now. The price of bonds right now are right around like 20 million-ish. With the price of bonds being right around 20 million, guys, that's pretty enticing for someone to, spend some real life money to get 20 million gold. So a bond is like what? I think about $6 USD. So for $6 USD, you can get roughly 20 million gold, which seems like a pretty good deal. I mean, that's under 30 cents per million, which is pretty good by my book, I'd say, if I was interested in buying gold from Jagex. So when you look at it that way, that's the reason why people go to buy bonds, with their Christmas money. So how does that make them drop? Well, quite simple. The way they get that money is because, or how they get that money, sorry, is they buy them with their real money, and then those bonds go on their account, and then they can take those bonds and throw them in the Grand Exchange and sell them and get the cash. But the thing is, though, is you have to remember that cash comes from another player. That cash is coming from another player because the other player is buying that bond. Now, what ends up happening, guys, is a lot of these bonds come into the game because there's a lot of kids out there and people that aren't kids too that just, they're like, hey, I feel like buying bonds for Christmas because they're really expensive right now. So a lot of bonds goes in the Grand Exchange, which increases the volume dramatically, which makes the price go down dramatically. So what's going to happen is pretty much they're going to crash. Now, obviously, this is just my personal opinion. It's backed by a graph that shows you what it's done every single year. So please don't say that I'm manipulating bonds or anything like that. But I can tell you that going by our graphs, the chances of them crashing towards the end of December here is very, 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 very high. As far as how low are they going to go, we don't really know. As we saw by the other parts of the graph, they've dropped by anything near like 3 million, 4 million, but we don't really know how much they're going to go to now, because they're really, really, really high. Actually, if you look at the graph again, let's go ahead and take that graph one more time. I know runecrafting is just so much fun over here. But if we look at this graph, we've had an all-time high for a bond. So 21 million is pretty crazy. That is a pretty crazy expensive bond. So we don't really know how low they're going to go. If we go by calculations back here, based on 17.3 dropping down to, they continue dropping because right here is where they really bottom out. They really bottom out, guys, in like February, March, blah, blah, blah. Right around the double experience time, they really bottom out. Look at that, 9 million, wow. But they went from like 17.2 down to like 12. So that's a 5.2 million loss. That's like 30% of their value they lost. So we could easily see the bond going from 20 or 21 million, or right now it's around 19. We could easily see that dropping all the way down to like 14. Now, obviously, that is just a complete guesstimate, but it is obviously backed by some graphs and some calculations that are not that difficult to figure out. But anyway, make your own decisions as far as bonds of what you think they're going to do. If you think they're going to rise, then by all means, you do whatever you want to do with them. But as far as like an economic standpoint, I can show you by those graphs probably going to be dropping down really quickly here. So my recommendation, guys, is if you're interested in buying the Hellion Aura and everything, you want to get your Premier Club, which is a great deal from Jagex, by the way, and you want to buy it with bonds, I highly recommend that you wait until they crash. That way you're going to be able to buy a bunch of stuff with your bonds. Your bonds are going to go a lot further. Now, that being said, what I mean is if you're going to be buying them with RuneScape Gold, buying the 20 bonds for the Premier Club right now with RuneScape Gold would cost you like close to 400 million. Now, if bonds happen to drop down to 14 million, then you're going to save 120 million gold. So if you wait, you're basically going to save basically 120 million gold. Sorry. Don't wait too long though, because then the Premier Club will be gone. So please don't wait that long. Make sure you check to see when Premier Club goes away. It goes away basically around February, and you don't want to miss it, obviously. But at the same time, you don't want to overpay. So it's kind of like a teeter-totter dance right there. My recommendation, though, if you are one of those people that are actually interested in spending real money and getting bonds to sell in the game for gold, then my recommendation would be to do that right now. If you're waiting past now, then you're really just going to be missing out, in my honest opinion, because if you look at the graphs and everything, they don't go back up again, and they're already dropping from where they were. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. I hope this helps you guys out with your RuneScape goals of getting Premier Club or maybe getting some bonds. If you guys would like to, you can feel free to join our Discord down in the description below. We are always in there chatting. If you guys have any questions, you can always feel free to ask. If you have any more questions about bond merchanting, you can always ask them there as well. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for being a subscriber. See you guys around.